Hi, I'm very happy again because this is the second time I will do the new member induction. The last meeting was the first one, and we are very happy because last meeting we had 5 members being inducted, and today we have 2 new member induction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you are one of the new member and haven't been inducted, could you please come to the stage?
Albert and Raymond.
Albert, yeah. Could you please come up? Okay, yeah, this is very special. First of all, what you have to do is because as a new member of our club, I represent the club to welcome you to our club. And as a new member to our club means you have paid the membership fee, right? So thank you. So as a member to our club, you have to keep some promise. So I will read out the promise and then you just say yes. Yeah. Very good. Yes. So I say and then you say yes. As a member of Toastmaster International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly.
Yes.
Okay. To prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments.
Yes.
To provide fellow members with helpful constructive evaluations.
Yes.
To serve the trip, my fellow club member and our guests with respect and courtesy.
Yes.
And to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters educational and recreation programs. Yes, thank you. And as a new member, you will be given the keynote. You will come up with member soon. Thank you. That's it.
Welcome, Alvin and Raymond. So happy to have our new members here. So, in the next section, we'll have evaluation. Evaluation is very essential in the Toastmaster. This month, after we have the Citizen Project for our prepared speech, evaluation is very crucial to give the positive feedback to the speaker, how well they do, and also the area of improvement. So, first of all, we'll have the table topic evaluation by Charles. So, welcome, Charles.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. So good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to evaluate the table topic section. So what I'm going to do is to evaluate the table topic master, which is Wallace, and also the 4 speakers, Cindy, John, Gerald, and also Tiffany, right? So, okay. So what I'm going to do is to give them comments on both their contents and also the delivery, and also the ideas in general. So let me first start with Wallace. I have 2 points which is positive for you and 2 points that you can consider improving. First of all, I think you have done a very good job in preparing for this section. You gave a very good introduction about your view on American presidents in general, and I also like that you have prepared some very you have put in time to prepare the questions. So that's the 2 good points. The two points that you may consider improving is that I think the question is a little bit challenging for your guests. Sometimes it can be quite innovative, but it can be quite unrealistic too. So it depends how the guest is going to take it. So So as you may consider that in general you would like to invite guests or maybe less experienced member to come up and give the table topic. So these are people who may not be very seasoned speakers, and when they hear questions like that you have prepared, they may be challenged to find a very good answer. So if I were you, I may prepare simple questions such as, you don't even need to have a question, just say Barack Obama, and then you can pass it on to Barack Obama, and then that whoever come up to the stage and just talk about what you think about the president. And as a matter of fact, when you go to contests, like cup contest, you go to cup contest, or you go to contests around the intercup contest, sometimes you see a question that is very straightforward. Maybe there are just two words, for example, time management, or for example, passion. That's actually a question that people comes up and they get an answer. They have to answer that. So sometimes being simple is also beautiful. So you can consider that. And also, I realized that some guests may be a little nervous, or maybe they just got blank and then they decided to stop, continuing to answer the questions, maybe around like 30 seconds or 40 seconds. And as a tabletop master, when you see the situation, you may want to encourage them, it's okay, say, Cindy, you didn't use up the time, but for the guest coming up to give the answer, you may consider use up to the full 2 minutes, or at least try to finish it in 1 minute and 30 seconds, so that you can give a more solid answer. So overall, I think this is your first time being a tabletop master, or maybe a second time. Second time. Okay. So it's okay. So we can all learn from the experience. So thank you, Wallace. Let's give it up. So let me go over 4 speakers. So first of all is Tiffany. Tiffany, I like the way that you answered the question on the attributes, right, to be a president. And I think you mentioned about hard work as one of the key attributes. In general, for not only Tiffany but for all the speakers, I think one way to answer a table topic question is to use your personal experience. Because when it comes to American presidents, it may not be a very familiar topic for you to give answers, because you may not be the subject matter expert. But instead, you can refer to examples from your daily life to try to build a bridge with whatever the topic is. So when you say hardworking, you can, for example, use your own example on how how hardworking would pay off, or maybe you can use an example of someone that you respect, that you think he has the capability of being a president, and you can elaborate on that story. So that way you can still answer the question and relate to what you think an American president has a good attribute. So that's something that you can consider. So to give yourself some knowledge base to use when you answer the question. So secondly, I would like to go to, it was Cindy, right? Cindy, okay. Cindy's question was, if you were the president, then what do you think you need to do, right? Something like that. Okay, and you mentioned about being credible is very important, right?
Yeah.
Right, and you kind of, so you mentioned credibility, and then you kind of mentioned 1 or 2 more sentences, and I think that's kind of the end of your speech. So similar to Tiffany, I think you can use your own personal examples on what you think credibility is important, and maybe you can quote examples. In Hong Kong, for example, you say, Sun Hung Kai, those people are incredibly wealthy, but they are incredibly not credible, because you can see all the scandal going on, and something relate to ideas that can connect the audience will be something that you can consider as a topic to talk about. And I think as your first time, it's fine. And I think you were a little bit nervous, and that's why it kind of impair your thinking a bit. But I think as you practice more, become a member, then you can. So I think the same applies to John. John's question was if U.S. ruled China, right? That's a very, very interesting question. If U.S. ruled China, then what do you think is going to happen? Oh, okay, you need 30 more seconds. Yeah. So, right. So your answer is how you how you think the world, because you guys did very terrible job, right? And then you think that's not going to be a very good thing. I think that's a good point. Maybe you can elaborate on what you see as the U.S. leadership, what they have done to the U.S. economy. For example, they keep printing money and they keep pushing up the inflation, and what happened to the people. I mean, you can elaborate a little bit on those points, and then you can make yourself a case on why you think U.S. is not a good leadership as a government. Yeah, so that's something for you to consider. And I also realized when John talked, and he kept putting his hand on the pocket. So maybe it's just a way of like showing that he's a little like uncomfortable, and so he wanted to be a little defensive. So it's something for you to consider as an audience to use your hands more. It's a way to improve your hand gestures to improve the delivery too. So okay, so finally it's Gerald. I think Gerald's question was how if U.S. is going to rule the world.
He's really China.
Oh, he's ruling
He's
China.
a president.
Oh, he is ruling the world. Okay. Oh, that's right. And for Gerald, I remember one good point from your speech, because you actually mentioned about your experience working with Chinese partners, and you think that there are a lot of complications when you work with them. And I think that's a very good point, because he actually used some examples of his own, and that really gives him credibility in mentioning his points. So I think it's a good way to take that approach to answer the question. Given that you don't really know a lot about the US, then it's a way to answer the question quite well. And finally, one point to consider is that like a table topic is basically like a speech. So in table topics, you still want to have a structure, so the introduction, body, and conclusion. So for more experienced members, you may want to, when you come up to a stage and you want to deliver a point on table topic, you want to have 1 or 2 points, and then give it at the beginning and elaborate in the middle, and do it as a conclusion to reiterate your points. So that it becomes similar to a prepared speech that you should give. So that's my two cents for you.